What are the most annoying aspects of playing Hypixel Skyblock? Playing this game day in day out, you're bound to have some pet peeves. Now first up, we have the foraging skill in general. Foraging is known as by far one of the most painful skills in the game to level up. And here's why. Realistically, you have one axe that can be upgraded from its lesser. The jungle axe crafting recipe makes sense. It's just an axe like you would craft any other axe but with enchanted jungle wood. That's fine, fair enough. But the tree capitator's crafting recipe, for some reason, is 8 stacks of enchanted obsidian surrounding a jungle axe. Now of course you mine obsidian, you don't forage obsidian, and to actually unlock the tree cap's recipe you need 25k obsidian collection, which just makes no sense. It's just incredibly backwards. This recipe makes no sense at all. Along with that, there's very little actual useful recipes in the foraging collection. I mean, you've got like minion storages, I think you've also got backpacks. I mean, there isn't even... Okay, this is the only foraging set in the game. And it's for 250 oak collection. And doesn't actually help you anyway in foraging whatsoever. Yeah, I guess trying to level up your foraging is very annoying. I spent so many hours, so many countless hours just mindlessly grinding to get to foraging 38, and yeah, it's not good. If you are planning on purchasing anything from the Hypixel store, make sure to use code NITROS. It gets yourself 5% off. You know when you first join into a lobby, you just try and move and you just kind of can't. I mean, to be honest, that wasn't too bad, but a ton of the time, when you spawn into a lobby, you try and move and it just teleports you straight back. Just brings me on to lag in general, TPS situations, ping, and all that sort of stuff. In the past few months, these problems have only got worse, and sometimes it happens where I literally just, I'm here playing Skyblock and I get kicked out of Skyblock and then I just can't join back. Then you have to wait a minute or something and you can finally rejoin. It's just so odd. As for TPS, I mean, that's just a measure of how smoothly the server runs, and as you can see in the top right corner, if it's 20, you don't really have many issues if your ping is okay. But a lot of the time in the Crimson Isles, if someone starts a Blaze Slayer or other things are going on in the area, your TPS is terrible, and a lot of the time that results in you getting put into limbo. Now unfortunately there isn't just a switch to flick to have terrible ping. I mean, it's going down a little bit, but it could be worse. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, become part of the 25%, there's no reason not to. Also, you should join the Discord server, it's linked in the description of every single video. Now I live in the UK, and my ping is not great, but it could be way worse. I consistently get somewhere between like 95 and 110 ping. I know people further away to America than me, like people in Australia, Asia, you know, it could be way worse. Some people have like 300, 400, 500 ping. I can't imagine what you're going through considering, you know, 100 ping is sometimes very difficult to play on. The majority of things in the game are manageable until you come to Melody's Her, the most ping dependent thing I've ever seen. I can't even tell you how infuriating this is when you don't have great ping. There's things that you can do to make it easier, but it's just a complete write-off for me. This took me so long to get. Alright, next up we have dungeons as a whole, but in particular, Party Finder. Or if you'd call it by its correct name, of course, Monkey Finder. Now, I think different people have different experiences with Party Finder on dungeons. You know, a lot of people have really negative experiences, and obviously resent going to Party Finder to actually play dungeons. Now, there's different reasons for this. One of the reasons may be if you put in the notes specifically that you don't want another archer, and an archer joins. I mean, just read. Or maybe you go into the dungeon and someone is that bad that they can't do the secrets, or they die constantly. Or maybe you're playing floor 7 and just before you're about to finish and get an S+, someone accidentally jumps into the lava and dies. You know, there's a lot of things that could go wrong. On the other hand, you have the people that are just really toxic. You might join like an actual dungeon, you might join a party, and the people that are actually in Party Finder are just being toxic towards you because you might just not be that experienced in the game. Party Finder is something that really has to be in dungeons, or else it's really going to be really difficult to actually get into a party. Having to have 5 people in a party to go into a dungeon without Party Finder, you know, is okay for some people, but others don't know 4 other people who are willing to do something at the same time as them. It can be really frustrating. Now, something else to mention is the cooldown. Once you've been into a dungeon and then you come out of it and try to go back into one, having to re-party, and someone doesn't accept the party invite. There's a lot that can go wrong. Now, something else that people find annoying is, I guess, the community and people trying to take advantage of people and so on. Now, for the most part, Skyblock players can be categorised into like 5 different types. You've got the nons or the beginners who have just started playing the game and don't really know what they're doing. You've got the Juju-nons who literally have a Juju and nothing else. You have the casual player who just casually plays the game, doesn't really sweat it, they may touch grass and so on. You have the sweats who dedicate a lot of time into the game, but at the same time can still interact socially. And then you have the elitists, the people who lock themselves up in the room 16 hours a day playing Skyblock, never touch grass, don't shower, and are usually extremely toxic to anyone who's under like level 360. And that sort of player goes to any sort of lengths to, you know, to have something that's advantageous to them. They're the sort of people that when you ask a question in the chat, they'll just instantly shut you down and tell you that nobody cares. And honestly, there's a ton of those sort of people on the forums, like it's elitist galore. Then you've got the scammers, the people who try to literally scam you out of items or coins. The lowballers, or people who beg for coins in Hub 1 who just completely fill up the chat. The ratters who advertise Hyperion giveaways and tell them to join the Discord server, then when you verify, see you to your account. Then you have the players who try to steal your titanium or grief you when you're just trying to have a nice peaceful mining session. No, and I come to think of it, it's a lot of toxic people in this community. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of people who just try to play the game and enjoy it for being a game, and not try to be obnoxious, and like bite people's head off for asking questions that they don't know the answers to, and so on. There is people like that, it is the majority. Okay, you know when I was talking about TPS before? Look at this. What's going on? 14. We have an example. 13. This is terrible. Unplayable. Server's unplayable. Fantastic. You see, what I was actually trying to do is get to the dojo to explain how annoying the dojo is. And it's partially because the TPS on the Crimson Isles and ping, and well, that just demonstrated perfectly. I tried to go from the Warp Kudra, the Kudra skull, to the dojo, and well, nothing happened. I was just floating in midair with 13 TPS. The dojo is a series of challenges that will seriously make you want to cry. Honestly, trying to get the points for a black belt is... I wouldn't even say it's impossible. I mean, obviously people have black belts, and quite a lot of people do. But I, personally, do not understand how you could even get close to that. Like, that is just... Yeah, I don't even know what to say. While it is basically giving you a free piece of equipment, it's horrible to do. And when I asked my Discord server what annoys them in Skyblock, a surprising amount of people basically said being a non, or being new to the game and not knowing what to do. And you know what? It's applicable to a lot of players, and it really is annoying. Like, sometimes you want to play the game, but you just don't know what to do. And the next one is something that I can actually resonate with 100%. And that's not being able to start a solo kata run. Have you ever just wanted to test something in dungeons, or just do a solo run, but you have to get a frag bot, or someone to join your party to then basically just sit there while you complete the dungeon? It really is annoying, because sometimes you then have to take to Party Finder to complete a run that you don't even want to do. You just want to test something. It happens to me all the time. And then you kind of feel like you're a burden on the rest of the people in the run because they're trying to do the run and you're not. You know, it's one of those. Now, something else that's really annoying, but at the same time it's kind of stupid to be annoyed about, but in the moment it makes sense to be annoyed. And that's just simply bad RNG. Now, I don't do Slayers as much as I did at one point, and I did quite a lot of revs. I think I have like 2.5k to 3k kills. But not seeing those RNGs drop Slayer after Slayer, or even dungeon run after dungeon run, is absolutely demoralising. And it gets to a point sometimes when you just want to put your fist through your screen, but obviously that's not going to help. Especially when you then see somebody else drop something good after like 3 runs. I mean, it's quite demoralising and very annoying. I'd say about 95% of the things that I've mentioned in this video are not coming directly from me. These are basically suggestions that people had in my Discord server, because when I make videos like this, I usually go to my Discord server to get sort of a general consensus of what the community thinks of things. So if you potentially do want your ideas voiced or so on, you should join the Discord server and get involved in that way. I'm also trying to cover my own back by saying this, because if you are sort of disagreeing with what I'm saying is being annoying, then it's not me, you know, it's pointing the finger to someone else. And don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining about these things, I'm not complaining about the game, but what I'm saying is they're annoying. They can be okay and annoying at the same time, that could be a thing. But anyway, I think that just about wraps up today's video. I hope you all have enjoyed. If you have, make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one.